Hey guys, welcome back to Garage Dads. Got an old friend here that heck I've known him since we were in diapers together. Ty Gilliland, how are you, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Good. Thanks for making it down. And it's been a while since we've got to just hang out and catch up. So
It's been too long, man. It's a good reason.
I know I feel like I've heard a lot about you, about what's going on, but it's all through your little bubby Chase. So he's got all the details for that. So
Yeah,
I don't know
sure.
how much you've listened in, but first thing we like to do is just start out and you can tell us about your family dynamic and tell us about, I know you got two beautiful little girls.
Yeah, man. Just trying to fit in your shoes, trying to catch up with you. Yeah, I got a four and a half-ish, and 2.5-ish. Both girls. Oldest one is Faye, and little one, baby sister, we call her, is Emery. So they're good, man. It's something.
And
It's something.
and about you and your wife.
Yeah, Sabrina. Everybody probably knows Sabrina, my beautiful wife. Yep.
Yeah, you guys are
Baby mama.
high school sweethearts too, right?
We are.
Yeah. I was like, you
Yeah.
guys went through it all together.
We're the high school love story. Through
Oh.
college, we did the long distance thing, and now we're back in Hillsborough.
Back home. Back home.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. And again, thanks for. I know things are crazy for you, and it's tough getting this together. We feel like we always talk about it, and we used to be. Heck, we'd talk on the phone for 2.5
We
hours.
did, man. You know, I was thinking about that the other day.
Yeah.
I said, "What happened?"
Yeah, I got a job up the street. I quit driving, so that was the big
Yeah.
thing. I was like, man,
We had some good conversations. We both be driving.
yeah, because you guys went through a lot of different moves
Yeah,
in your time of marriage, and
Yeah. We did a little bit of adventuring. Yep.
yeah. So
Yep.
tell us, what are the girls in? They into anything right now?
We're getting there. Slowly but surely, we started this spring with soccer. That was our first go about of an organized activity, which was fun. You know, four is an age. Everybody parent goes through it, so
Yeah.
you know what it's like.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
fun. It's fun. But Sabrina and I both grew up playing soccer all our lives.
Yeah, it's like I thought.
Soccer is what we started out in. Sabrina played in college, and we were both super excited, but Sabrina's really excited to get her out there, and she loved it. So come fall, Sabrina's going to volunteer and hopefully be Faye's coach for the fall season.
Yeah.
So we're in it.
That'd be weird if she wasn't her coach. She's like, yeah, I want to coach. She's like, you
Coaching against her?
you can coach this team.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. So how much? So you think you'll get drug into?
Oh,
I
yeah.
shouldn't say drug
absolutely.
into, but
No, again, in the best way.
told
Yeah.
what you're gonna do.
Yeah, I'll be there for sure.
You're gonna be the assistant of the assistant coach.
It'll be tough for me to just sit there and watch.
Yeah.
We'll be co-coaching. And I hope she doesn't watch this because I'll probably never admit that to her that I want to coach.
Oh,
Because I
gosh.
probably tell her that I don't all the time. But
Yeah.
I do. So,
You're for sure coaching now.
yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
We're excited.
It's one of those things that's, I obviously never played soccer. Never, I still don't know anything about soccer. I just listen to what other people are saying and I'm like, Mark up, close, he's offside.
I've played my whole life. I barely know the rules, man.
Yeah, I just find stuff to yell and I have no, I didn't know until I was probably 30 years old that you don't kick off your toe. I was just like, what? I was like, you're supposed to kick off the side of your foot? And Alyssa's like, yeah. And they've asked me to coach.
You should be a coach.
I've got the first rules down.
Someone need an assistant.
Yeah, I worry about that because I'm like, I don't know the fundamentals to soccer. I don't think I should be teaching them. And he's like, oh, that's all right. I'm like, that's what's scary. But
You know,
yeah, it takes.
right now it's just, you know how it is. Organized chaos.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of it's like I use up my patience at my job every single day.
Yeah.
And then I have to come home and hope that I keep it together with my 3 girls. And then you want me to go coach 4-year-old soccer?
The goal at the end of the day after practice is that they've enjoyed themselves and that they will peacefully go to bed that night and sleep well.
Yeah.
Because they wore themselves out. That's the goal of practice.
One thing that is awesome about it is they have so much fun.
They do, man. And, well, that's why I am looking forward to coaching because it's
Yeah.
like so just pure, you know, there's
Yeah.
4 and like they're not even doing it. They're just running around. Oh, and they're having the time of their life.
No idea. Yeah, it's closing in on the gap, and I think a little bit of it was the team Annie was on this spring. Their coaches were great coaches. They were very, very, very knowledgeable in soccer. They were very competitive. So it made it feel a lot more competitive. And I was just like, I like it, but I don't. Because it's like, man, this seems more like work. And I'm just like, I miss just having fun. And you're just like, when you just laughed. And now it's getting up there and it's like, she's only almost 6. And I'm like, it's not supposed to be like that yet.
Well, I think that's the biggest thing. Some competitiveness is fun at all ages, but just having fun is the most important thing.
Yeah, yeah. And is the younger one into anything, or has she got anything in her future?
I mean, it's hard telling things. I mean, you know how stereotype second child is crazy?
Oh, yeah.
She's a freaking, I call her loony bin. I love her, but I call her loony bin. So she's a nut. It's hard telling what she'll be into.
Yeah,
I really have no idea.
Every time I see those, have you seen those videos where the TikTok and stuff where they're like, you tell your kid, you know, which kid's gonna have your back in a fight and not even ask questions? That's Claire. The middle one is she's my sweetest and has the best manners. She's always been that way. You know, we've tried to instill that, but she always does that. But she has the hottest temper. And will.
She's a Sour Patch Kid.
Yeah.
That was Emery's second birthday theme, Sour Patch Kid.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I mean, it couldn't have been a more real theme.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. So she'll be, when did you say she turns 3?
She'll be 3 in March.
3 in, okay. So she just turned.
Yeah, she's creeping up on 2.5.
Yeah. Yeah. That's when things will start getting into it's crazy. It's like at 3 they can get into sports, but it's the truth. And it's around here, soccer is like life for some of these, you know.
It is.
You make the Final Four and it's
well, you know, if big sister's into it, then she'll be into it. She admires her big sister. If she turns out to be a soccer player, Emily will be a soccer player, I think.
Yeah.
Which I think it's really cool that my brother and I, youngest brother, were 3 years apart, which was awesome for us because we got to play a little bit of sports together in high school. Yeah. That was part of the reason we wanted to have, and we were just best friends growing up. You know what I mean? Because we were close enough to be. And that was our plan in the beginning. Like, if we're going to have some babies, let's keep them close together so they can be, you know, friends and maybe go to school together. Maybe one of these days they'll play together. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. That's what I think about a lot with Annie and Claire. They're going to be, Annie's going to kindergarten, Claire's going to preschool. Yeah. They're going to be right there. And which is awesome. I hope that I don't want to force that. Like, I want them to be their own people if they want to be. They will be. But it would be pretty cool to see them, like, they're not close enough, like, where they're just playing ages right now. It'll be grades because they're almost 2 years, they're 20 months apart, but Annie's going to be really old for her age because she's one of them August birthdays. Claire is, you know, March, so she's just middle of the pack. So they're always going to be just that one grade apart, and being able to play in those sports together when they get into high school will be cool to see. It'd be cool, but I'm like, I don't want them to ever be in. Let's just keep them little forever. When they get to high school, that's when they learn everything. Yeah. They learn more than their parents. It's great. It's great. I see it a lot with my buddy. Tells me all the time, he's like, brother, you just wait. You're going to find out. He said, but I only got one daughter. You're going to see it 3 times. Yeah. And I'm just like, Three.
Which is awesome, but that's crazy.
Yeah. Three kids, and we only thought we were having one. The plan was only for one, and
apparently not.
Well,
somebody else had a different.
I don't think we I think always knew we wanted to have more than one kid, but it was like again. So it was a fun surprise, especially with this last one, because I was like, oh, so you yes, I think you got one more in you. It's time. This is the one. This is the one.
There's a second reason that my wife doesn't need to listen to this.
Yeah. If it's
she'd be on board for sure.
If it's to
she wouldn't put up an argument.
If it's to try to have a boy, then you might as well not do it, because
the odds aren't looking good.
Or not at all. And I can't put it together. Obviously, when my dad passed, I was not anywhere. I mean, I was still in college. Kids were so far down the line, but I wish he would have. Sometimes I'm like, I wish he'd have gave me that secret to having all the boys. But then again, I see little boys and like just knowing what I put my parents through, I'm like, the girls are going to be a different type of headache, but hopefully I don't have to worry as much as my parents probably did about me and my three brothers.
I mean, yeah, I'm in the same boat as you.
Yeah. So you and Sabrina have had to bounce around a lot. Did you have any of the kids when you were kind of bouncing around? I know that she had a...
No. Well, so from Hillsboro, both of us. From there, she went to North Carolina College. We went to good old Moorhead.
Mm-hmm.
There we did the long distance thing, made it through that, and she's a very driven mama. She knew what she wanted, and she had some opportunities in different states. End up going to Rhode Island straight out of college as soon as I graduated, which was, a little scary at first, just because, kind of far from home, whatever, but we were both excited, and if you ever get the chance to go out there, I recommend it. It was beautiful. We were so broke out there, dude, but for the situation we were in, we made the absolute best of it. We lived in this tiny cottage on a second story. Like it looked like a house with like the shakes by the ocean that you would see, and we had this little tiny village that we could run to, wade out on the beach. I don't know, probably 500 yards, still be up to our waist in water. It was just an awesome experience. We were so broke, but I wouldn't have wanted it any other way because that made the experience.
Yeah, you appreciate things a lot more.
It forced us to enjoy really simple things, and it made us humble for the long run of life. So where we're at now, and now we can really appreciate it. But from Rhode Island, we were only there for 6 months. Went to, we both love our families. Both our families are in Hillsboro. So we did want to get a little bit closer to home. She's got siblings. I got siblings that I'm really close to, and we missed mom and dad and all that good stuff. We made it back to Illinois, Champaign. She was worked at U of I for a while, and I went to grad school out there. We were there for almost 4 years. That was a great experience too. And then we still want, all our friends were back here at home, and we definitely made new friends in Rhode Island, and we have friends that we talk to on a daily basis in Champaign. But home is home, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though it's a small town, we ended up back never planning to live in Hillsboro again, but here we are, and we're happy as could be. We made it from Champaign back to Cincinnati, and that's when we had our first baby, FAJ. Yep, while we were there. But let's see, she was creeping up on 2 years old, I think, when we moved back to Hillsboro.
Yeah. I knew that you guys didn't live in Hillsboro when you had her, but yeah. Did that travel of being in Rhode Island and being in Illinois and did that have a factor on when you were going to have kids, or did it just all work out that way?
I couldn't say. I think we were conscious enough to realize that I was totally on board following her job because I was sort of undecided. Like I said, she was really driven, and I was like, this is a good opportunity to go see some things. And once you have kids, you would never trade that for the world and the time that you get to spend with them. But it makes you appreciate the time that you had when it was just you two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just a different lifestyle. So we definitely embraced that, and we took advantage of just us two traveling around a little bit. And, I would say, did we plan it out? Really? I don't know, but we were a little more settled when we finally were like, all right, let's try and have a baby.
Yeah. I think that was kind of similar. I mean, our kids are almost the same age.
Yeah.
So it was just trying to figure things out, and it was like, I think it hit the point where when we were closing in on 30, where it was like, all right, I think we're supposed to start adulting or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't know when you're supposed to have a kid.
No.
You're looking at each other like, when are we supposed to have a kid? I don't know. Do you know?
I think my parents were like,
is now a good time? I don't know.
They were done having kids by, 30s.
Yeah.
And, Chad came when my parents were like 34, but so that was like the point for me when I had to be done. But I was like, I'm not going to start at 30-some. And I think that was another factor of like, it's time we've done everything. We've done, you guys, we traveled a lot. We spent all the time we had together. And I think it was literally like the conversation was brief. And it was like, all right,
We're having a baby.
Because people were like, told me after, they're like, I thought you were never having kids. And I was like, yeah, that's the easiest thing to tell people.
Yeah.
And it's like, kind of always, you're just like, when people are like, oh, you having another one? And you're just like, even if you're going to, you just tell them no. And then if you're not going to and you still have another one, you go see the doctor. So heads up, brother. So
you gotta create a podcast so you can talk about your three babies.
So you can talk about that. This was my whole plan the whole time, was just like, I want to start a podcast. Yeah. But
first I have to have 3 girls.
Yes. I guess it's only been 4.5 years ago, you said, when you did have that experience, or, you know, when you found out that you were going to be a dad. What was that like?
Oh man. You know, it was weird because it was 2020 when she was born. It's like, it's not hard. I can't compare it to anything else because we don't know any other lifestyle in that moment. She's a COVID baby, which honestly, dude, it was kind of awesome because we had so much time at home with our little tiny new baby. It was really kind of perfect. We wish we could have, like, we couldn't even have family in the hospital or anything. Like, I was barely able to be in there right just seconds before she was born. It's kind of crazy. Having family there would have been awesome, and we kind of hate that we missed out on that, and you know, all that stuff. At the same time, it was just us and our little baby, and we just like were able to, not that we didn't want to share it with other people, but we could just soak it. It was kind of nice to be just our little family of 3, and we got to enjoy every second. And then it was like that for a while, you know, however long COVID protocol, whatever lasted, you know. So when we were in Cincinnati, we spent a lot of time where it was just me, Sabrina, and our tiny little baby. And it was, you know, looking back now, it's actually kind of pretty cool.
Yeah. With having Annie was like right before COVID. Yeah. She was born in August of 19. But she, you know, it was like when COVID became a thing in the United States, she did nothing.
Yeah. First of all, it's a tiny baby. Second of all, you're a brand new parent. You're scared to death. Yeah. You don't even know what you're doing.
I don't care who you are. When you have your first kid,
regardless of COVID, you know what I mean? It's your first baby, but I don't know. It was a good experience. I don't think I would change it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. We had her, and then Claire was born in March of 21. And so it was like COVID protocols were still going on, but the world was like, yeah, you got to go back to work. So it was tough. I think the toughest part was seeing Annie not being able to see Claire until we came home. But it was also kind of nice because it was just us in there, and we had everything to ourselves. And you know, we came back and everybody was here. And genuinely, one thing that I didn't realize how much I'd appreciate, and you will when your third one is born, is just getting to see.
Don't you cast that juju on me?
When Daisy was born 9 months ago, getting to see Annie and Claire come in and see the baby. Yeah. Like they got to come into the hospital, and they got to see. We didn't know what it was, and that was really special.
You waited?
Yeah.
You're crazy.
It was not as bad as you think.
Okay.
It was not as bad as you think. When you just finally told yourself. We found out right away with the other 2. So it was like, all right, we're having and I would catch myself like holding on to hope. Well, maybe you hear all this stuff about it being wrong, and all this is like, it's a girl. Yeah. You just give up. So it was like, but literally, I remember being at the hospital, and I was like, wow, there still could be. And we knew that if it was a girl, we were going to name her Daisy. And literally, the nurses board said Daisy's something. Oh. And it was like a spotlight thing. Daisy spotlights. And it was the spotlights for the nurses. And people wrote like little letters on Daisies. And I was like, if that's not a sign, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
And
it was already a done deal at that point.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the truth. Nothing is going to change. We have all the girl stuff. If it's a boy, we have to buy all the boy stuff.
Yeah. True.
Anyway, so we were kind of prepared for that, and it was just like, if it's a boy, he's gonna have some pink stuff for a little bit. Like I'm not buying everything new. Like he's not gonna care if he has a pink.
Yeah, at least up until 2.
Yeah,
if you wearing some pink stuff.
there's a line for sure. I guess just thinking about that, that memory actually just kind of made me feel a little warm and fuzzy inside thinking about that. What would you say, just kind of thinking back, whether, I mean, it could be back when, something like that, or last night, what would you say is your best dad memory that you've had with your girl?
I don't know. Just life is so fast now. I don't know that I remember what I had for lunch yesterday. So
Yeah.
I'll keep it a current memory, which is actually an every morning memory, and it's my favorite. Now, just recently, probably about a month or so ago, the little one, we took the one section of her crib off so she can get out of bed on her own now. So every morning, sometimes the old one's first, sometimes the second one's first, but you hear the footsteps come running to her bedroom. Then about 30 seconds later, here comes another set of footsteps, and they jump up in the bed, and it's that's right now, that's definitely my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those,
First
like,
thing in the morning, cuddling the babies.
you hear the footsteps and you're like, oh no, it's time to get up, and then it's just
Part of you's like, son of a, but then they get there and it's nothing but love.
yeah. Yeah. I've said this, I think I've said this before, but Claire is very much like, my middle is like, sun's up, you need to be up too. She'll like smack me on the face. I'm like, Dad, the sun's up, time to get up. I'm like, or not, but that's definitely a special time. And
yeah, it's like that sound comes from their chubby little feet on the hardwood right now. It's like, man, what are we going to do when their feet aren't chubby and they don't smack the floor? You don't hear them running. It's, I don't know. That makes you try and soak up every second. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I feel like I catch myself getting upset about, just being like irritable in certain situations, and it's just like, I shouldn't have acted that. Like, at some point, as annoying as that seems, it's gonna be over. So
yeah,
enjoy it now, and that's
a
lot easier said than done, because I can have a bad temper sometimes.
The country song about the little footsteps running down the hallway. Oh, I can't think of it right now.
Oh, sing it to us. This will not.
I would if I could think of it.
That would be awesome. I'd be like, yeah, I edited that out. No,
I would definitely sing that for you if I could think of the word.
Dude, that would be awesome.
Pause. We'll look some lyrics.
We're back. Ty, we've talked about a lot of different things, and I heard some great stories, and I've not got to meet your two little girls, and I haven't seen Sabrina in forever. I guess I saw her, I think, last year. Is she in the junior women's? Is she part of that? Is she part of that?
No. I don't think so.
Swing and a miss. Not where I saw her. I thought she was part of that.
I mean, maybe.
Worked that golf tournament.
The stuff she doesn't tell me.
Well, this is awkward.
Well, she came home the other day. She said, is James part of the junior women's? I said, I don't know. Let me ask him.
He's been missing all our meetings. But I know that I definitely know that things can get hectic and tied up, and we forget about ourselves and our spouse and our marriage, and just knowing at the end of all this, you're gonna be left with her. She's gonna be left with you. So it's definitely still important, I guess, with all the craziness and stuff that goes on with being parents, and working. She working a job in Cincinnati. What do you guys try to do for your free time as husband and wife? Like, what do you guys like to do for your kid free time?
Kid free time.
What is that?
Yeah. You know what, man? I mentioned earlier that we moved back to Hillsboro, and for several reasons, most of it being family and friends, but we're so fortunate and lucky to have two separate sets of grandparents that are super involved and love our babies, and both live within a stone's throw of our home, which makes the world a difference for us. I mean, that literally, if we were to be in Cincinnati still, it'd be a different life if grandparents weren't. Both sets are so great, which gives us a lot of time that otherwise, we wouldn't have. So we try and remember to be thankful for both our great sets of parents, I guess, and grandparents. I mean, dude, when you're getting caught up in life and it gets crazy with the kids, it doesn't take much to relax and enjoy. We like to drink a little bit. We don't party like we used to, but we just, get out, have dinner, have a drink. We're big music people. Concerts, big on our list. Seen a few already this year. Who'd we just, Breaking Benjamin and Stained we just saw, which was our date night. Stayed at I think it was a Best Western. That was an experience.
Big time it.
Down there at Riverbend, Best Western. I won't say nothing good about it, but it was an experience.
It was a night out.
Yeah. So, but that was great. We're going to see Creed here in a couple months. Big music people. For the most part, the girls are their life, man. So I want to say, like, I don't want to say that don't get free time, but they're with us most of the time, and we
Yeah.
enjoy it. Like we went out. By the way, if you didn't know, you can rent a pontoon boat, Rocky Fort, for like $170
Yeah.
for 4 or 5 hours, which is not a bad deal. We did that the other weekend, but they were with us. That was our relaxing time.
Yeah.
But they were with us. So
Yeah. I think it's
nothing crazy anymore, though.
Yeah, I think it's a whole different type, and I catch myself and Alyssa's like, all right, we're not these people anymore. It's like when we get a night just to ourselves, it's like I'm so excited. I'm like, I love my kids.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
I mean, and you know how it goes. You get that night to yourselves, and then you talk about your stinking babies the whole night.
yeah. Yeah, that's where we've
Yeah.
sometimes it's nice just to like have alone time where you're just like, we're gonna leave and go do something.
Yeah. You do have to have it. You know, this sounds kind of, I don't know, corny or something, but I think having time away from your babies makes you a better parent.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of weird to say that, but you know, you gotta have, well, and you know, that's your first love, your wife, each other,
Yeah.
your wife to you, you know, that's how things started. And
That's how them babies got made.
you gotta remind yourself of that every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot, but some people forget that for your husband and wife first. And like you're not supposed to love your kids more than your spouse. And that can be very hard.
Yeah.
And especially, you know, it makes people drift apart a lot because that becomes less of a priority. And I think it's important to make sure some people take it too far where it's just like their kids are always at their parents' house and they're always out doing something. But I think it's important to have that balance of like, maybe it's like once a month or, you know, 2 times a month, but you can't do it every weekend. Sometimes it would be cool if you could, but, it's definitely nice. You appreciate it a lot more. You appreciate
you gotta have some time and some experiences where you don't have to be responsible for another tiny human.
Yeah.
Where you can be a little irresponsible yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just like, in my case, I'm just like, Alyssa's got to be responsible. Tonight, not my night. She is always, she always has her mom goggles on, even with me. She's like, all right, just remember, you can't go to jail. And I'm like, yeah, we're good. Yeah. She's like, are you? So it's, like I said, I definitely think those times together is important.
Yeah.
And,
have to, man.
And it's easy to forget. It's easy to forget about, but I think it would also be easy to get wrapped up in if you had somebody there all the time who wanted to who was like, I'll take them. And being those people who do take advantage, because it's like, you're hopefully strengthening your marriage in that case. So that's awesome that you guys get that. And I know your mom would probably move in with you if she had to and watch your kids.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
At any moment. I think she would, if I called her tonight and I was like, hey, we want to go do something. Can you come down and watch them? She would be here in 20.
Yeah, I gotta remind myself how, again, I already said it, but how thankful I am for her. Sometimes it's too much. She's a lunatic, and I mean that in the best way.
Yeah,
in the most way
she
possible.
is the most loving person I've ever met.
Yeah.
It was funny. I saw her at Walmart, and
I know she gave you a hug.
I walked by her and I was like, hey, and she was on the phone like looking for something. And I was like, I had all 3 of my kids and I was by myself, and I was like, I don't do right now. Like, I didn't know to stop. I had to go get something, and it's just like, I mean, I don't know if obviously how often you've had kids in a store by yourself, but you don't have a whole lot of time to stop because something's coming off the shelf. So
well, I'm sure she stopped you.
I was like, I'm going to go. And I walked past her. I like waved, and then I came back and I was like, I can't not say anything.
Could have just left the girls there with her, and
she was so excited, and she was talking to them, and she was like, you have to, and like, of course, talking like she knew them.
Yeah.
And the girls were just like,
she doesn't know a stranger.
She gave them all hugs and told them she loved them. And
they're like, who's this lady?
Call her Mama Laney. And I was like,
you're probably one of those people that I hate when I try and have a phone conversation with her, because for whatever reason, half the time I call her, she's at the grocery store. I'm trying to talk to her. Hold on a second. There's James in the. Hey, baby, how are you doing? Oh my gosh, those are your 3 girls. And I'm like, Mom, call me back when you can talk.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was
I
definitely,
love you, Mom.
it was definitely something that the girls were like kind of looking around, but yeah, you definitely have a loving mother. I know that definitely time with your spouse and time with your kids is important, and that's what should take up most of your time. But there is also the time with the boys. What would you say is your dad time, the kid free dad time, and other than podcasting?
Last night is a perfect example. For whatever reason, you included, we were talking about it earlier. I don't know how many of my friends, there's like 5 of us. All of us had girls, first babies. Some of us had multiple girls. One of my buddies finally had a boy, broke the chain.
Yeah,
But we all had girls. And last night, Kyle.
yeah,
Lives in a neighborhood now, which is awesome. He's got a little girl that's Faye's age, and then another buddy of ours was in town, got a girl that's just a little bit younger, and they were all hanging out together, and it was so cool. But then we put the babies to bed, and we got to hang out for a little bit. And I rode I rode a bicycle over there, responsible thing to do. And I got back home, I don't know, 1 o'clock or whatever. I'm like, by the end of the night, we were watching fights or whatever, UFC. Dude, by the end of the night, all three, I'm pretty sure I was covered up in a blanket, sipping a Busch Light. We had dimmed the lights. Everybody's got a comfy spot on the chair. We're like, man, when's this last fight ever?
yeah. Like it
was good though. We just hung out and threw some darts and drank some beers. That's pretty simple, man. That's all I need.
Yeah, it's those times to just have that.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I do them, I can definitely feel guilty. And sometimes I think I don't feel guilty until after, which is maybe me for being like, it'll be all right. She won't be mad. She shouldn't be. I know I've been gone all week, but I was working. No, it's definitely, but it's nice to have those.
Just like you and your wife have to have time together, You got good buddies, and we got to be thankful for that. And you got to hang out with your buddies. You got to keep them good buddies, and your wife needs to do the same thing with her friends.
Yeah, and I definitely can relate to the late night. Like, why in the world do fights need to go on at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning?
We're watching the last fight like this. Come on, man,
like,
let's come out. Let's come out.
Just another garage dad question that we try to, pepper in there in every interview, and sometimes I've probably missed it on a couple, but just thinking about several years down the road when your kids or your grandkids are sitting around talking about you, whether it's old Papal Ty sitting over there in the chair watching TV. How do you want to be remembered? What do you want your legacy to be with them?
Oh, man, first of all, Papal Ty. I don't know about all that.
Yeah, it's gotta be something.
That sounds a little creepy. I just want my girls to live a simple life, man. That's it. Everything we've talked about involves trying to slow life down and enjoy certain moments, and that's what I just want them to know. And it's something you don't know when you're younger and you figure it out, and it's more real once you have kids, especially. It's just when your babies start growing, it's like life is just so fast and short. It's like, just keep it simple, and enjoy the little things, and family and friends. That's one of our biggest things, and that's what our life revolves around. And I hope that they keep it that way, and just live simple, man.
Yeah.
Not Leonard Skinner in there for you.
Be a simple man. So I guess, just kind of thinking about that. Like, I never realized when I was younger, because it was always like, go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Like, you have to, like, you're looking, what's next? And, people who were older were like, slow down, you can be old before you know it.
No,
I tell, like, high school kids like that now, it's like, hey, man, I know that you want to graduate, and graduation is fun, being a senior is fun, but don't rush it. Don't rush that experience.
Yeah, just like you said, if somebody were to told us that when we were in high school, it went like this.
I wouldn't have listened either.
We would have acted like we'd listened.
But I think with having kids, things just blow by so much faster. It's like, how do I already have 3 kids, and how is one of them getting ready to start kindergarten and preschool? How? I don't know.
You can't explain it.
Yeah,
it's just That's why, I just try and live slow and
Yeah.
simple, man. It just try and take in every moment. Easier said than done. Even like the week goes by so fast, dude. It's like get home from work and from the sitter. We got the girls, for maybe 3 hours for the little one goes to bed, and it's real easy just to rush right through that and get little one down. But it's
Yeah.
like, dude, you gotta freaking just live up that 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's living.
Yeah. I think that it's, depending on how your day went, you can be extra irritable.
Oh yeah.
And it's just
for
like,
sure.
all right, let's get these kids to bed. So
Sure.
I can just have some time to calm down
know.
myself.
I know, and it's always easier said than done.
But I think it's so important to like you said, slow down and cherish those moments.
Yeah.
Because things do move so fast. It was yesterday, and how fast things go, and how,
It's wild, man.
when we got married and when I wasn't graduated from college yet, I was still working at KFC and working at Heiko and working here, there, and everywhere. It was crazy to see how that journey was, but it went like that, and to see all the different things. And I know that since you have graduated, you've had a pretty wild journey with traveling with Sabrina. I mean, you two doing your thing, traveling all over, and had a lot of different jobs. It was like when you graduated from Moorhead, you had a exercise. What was your degree? I'm not even gonna try to guess.
A degree that is nothing to do with my life. Exercise science.
Exercise science, and it was like you were doing that. Then it was like I'm working at Menards. I was like,
Yeah.
they got a workout.
Then you training Menards employees.
And then you come back here and you start working for Kiefer's and doing that, and it was just like,
Yeah.
well, that definitely doesn't have anything to. I mean, you're getting exercise, but I don't think Tim hired you on for that.
Yeah. My experience at college was definitely a life experience, not a prepare yourself for the future and career experience.
Yeah, yeah, and I know that, like you said, your college didn't necessarily prepare you for where you are now. But I mean, I'm sure it did. They're gonna tell you some way it did.
I say I will. I always will say that, and I will never change it. But exercise science is not in the realm of my life.
No, so,
But that's all right, man. I enjoy what I've done, and I enjoy where I'm at, and that's fine. And I lived and I learned, and I went to college to figure out what I didn't want to do. It was a little expensive. That's all.
I learned some expensive lessons down there about life, but I know that good buddy Cody would say you are a small business owner, the backbone of America.
Yeah, something like that.
What is your business?
Gilliland Renovations, man. Just I'm thankful for Kiefer Homes, and I worked with them for several years, and just got to a point where I was comfortable going out on my own. And beginning of the year, I just started mostly interior remodeling and renovations.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how's Gilliland Renovations going? What all can you do for the people out there there's always somebody who's looking for some type of renovation.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm a businessman now, so I can't tell you what I can't do.
I'm just saying, what kind of jobs have you done? Yeah.
I try and stick to interior renovation for the most part. Bathroom, kitchen remodel. But my limit right now is I'm kind of I am a one-man crew as of now. Maybe down the road things might change, but so that's kind of my limit. The bigger projects are, just a little out of the question just for the lack of manpower. But yeah, man, just renovate mostly bathrooms and kitchens right now. So, but anything from the floor up, man, and in between.
Good deal, man.
Yeah.
So you got a Facebook or a website?
Man, I'm not the technological guy by any means. My wife Sabrina bought me a holder for my camera. She said, you need to start recording yourself. I don't even know how to work this phone in my pocket. I know how to call people and text people. You want me to try and work and record myself at the same time? She said, yeah. I said, okay. So she, man, she's so smart, and I hate to ask her to do it, but she does it for me. All that social media aspect of things, she does most of it for me on, just in her spare time. And so we got a Facebook page, and we got an Instagram, and we got a website. It's all, you search GillandRenovations.com. But it's hard for me to take credit for that, because maybe I'll come up with an idea for a post. If I make a simple post, she'll tell me, I'm proud of you. And I just feel like a little child that is, like
He pats
like
you on the head.
like I learned a new word today or something. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I've seen a couple of the posts and the pictures, and I was like, no way. I mean, I haven't seen him in a while, but there ain't no way he did all that.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
can't take full credit for any of that. She's good at what she does. That's part of what she does.
hey,
Marketing's her realm.
this guy can't build a website, but he can build you a bathroom. Give him a call.
Yeah.
Or check him out on
Yeah,
Facebook.
appreciate
Or
it, man. Appreciate it.
GillilandRenovations.com. Say you heard it here on Garage Dads, and you'll get a free quote and a discount.
Yeah.
Everybody's always looking for somebody to do some type of project.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, I was just to be one of those people. I was like, hey, can you do this for me? Like, yeah. Last guy, you could do this for like $800, right? But that's awesome that you got that going on. And I know that.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
And just kind of thinking about that, and hopefully things are starting to pick up and get busier for you, and, you know, working more of the deadline stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How difficult is that to shut that off or separate the business versus being a husband and a dad?
That's a interesting question. I say it's easy, but you know, I'll have dreams about the project I'm working on at night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My goal is I would love a 4-day-a-week schedule. Now, I think I got some of my mom in me, and I'm probably too nice, and I like to speed projects up and get them done as fast as I can. So that hasn't necessarily panned out yet, but one of these days, because that's what my schedule was before, Monday through Thursday. And I'll tell you, man, again, we go back to time and slowing things down. If you get the chance, I mean, working 4 days a week compared to 5 days a week, I know it's not in the books for everybody. If it's possible and you can swing it, it's just life changing. I used to have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it was unbelievable. That extra day, I would spend a lot of days, you know. My favorite times are with my babies and my wife, but I had a lot of Fridays where I just had my babies with me, and I loved it. And I'll get that every now and then, but I want to get to that, back to that. I can just but you know, just starting at the beginning of the year, I'm still working some kinks out, figuring a lot of things out, trying to be several different people at one time, but I'm getting there, man. And I reckon, first of all, I want to give a shout out to you while I'm on here, man. Garage Dad, this is awesome, and thank you for having me. And I appreciate you for, you know, you doing your thing and trying something new, because, you know, it's kind of scary, but you're doing it, and it's working great. But we're getting better, and it'll get easier. Yeah, it will. It will. And then the biggest thing is, I keep going back to family and friends. We got a lot of people we know that are close to us and that support us, and it makes what we're doing a lot easier. And that's definitely the case for me. I got a lot of people, whether or not you're serious or not. If you mention an idea to me, you know, I get excited and I appreciate it.
Yeah. It's one of those things that sometimes I'll have to like call people or talk to them that are like, have listened, you know, because it was a big jump. I've always talked about doing something. Yeah. I always said that I was going to do stand-up comedy. It's terrible. It's a terrible.
We're doing sit-down comedy.
It's a terrible idea, because I'm not as funny as I think I am. 1, 2, I'm terrified of public speaking, which is like, I think is kind of a big deal for that. So, and you know, this was always something that since this has became, I shouldn't say always, because let's be honest, podcasts really didn't become a big thing until 3, 4, 5 years ago. Yeah. I mean, obviously they've always kind of been around, and to take that leap and make, you know, mine wasn't a career change, but, you know, investing in something, and I know that you believe in what you're doing, and I think it's awesome that you jumped and took that leap, because it's a lot different from where you started and where your journey
you and I are in the same boat. There's definitely something to be said about not being scared to fail. Yeah. When you start something new, there's that possibility, but you get over that and you try it anyways. And here we both are, and I think we're both doing all right now.
Yeah. So I'm definitely proud and excited to see, you know, you grow as a business, and
I appreciate it.
You know, maybe score a sweet T-shirt or something one day.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll rock that out. I'm always about a sweet T-shirt. When we start generating money, we are looking for sponsors.
Well, we'll just do the the thing the NFL and NBA players are doing. Our next session, we'll just take our shirts off, swap shirts.
Yeah, that'll go over well. That'll go well. And just sign them.
Yeah,
I'll just have shirts hanging up on the wall. So we got way off topic on that one, but whoops. I do that all the time. That's great that you're doing that, and hopefully things continue to grow, and
Yeah,
you know,
back at you, man.
you start you'll be hiring people before you know it. Next time we'll be putting Help Wanted on here.
Well, hey, I got Faye a purple tool belt for Christmas last year, so
Ooh, free child labor.
It's in the works.
Free child labor.
It's in the works. Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of those where you're just like, you take her and you're like, this will be fun, and then you're like, that was a terrible idea. That was a terrible idea. She broke 3 windows and a mirror, but that's cool that she wants that, and hopefully gets excited and sees that that's what you're doing. And
She will not be doing that in the future, but wishful thinking.
yeah. I mean, it's cool that
She's a princess.
just having something that she enjoys doing with you,
Yeah.
or that she gets excited about. And sometimes that can be difficult, because like I've had to take the girls to practices, coaching with me before, and to like work stuff, and like I'll take all 3 of them anywhere. Sometimes it's a little difficult. But I don't let that slow me down. But we have to sometimes take that deep breath and realize it's all right. They're excited. We don't need to get upset. So before I ask this last question, thank you for coming down. I know that with starting a new business and having those 2 babies and just life, the craziness of life. I know it was difficult, and thank you, Sabrina, for letting them come down.
Yeah. Same to your wife.
Yeah. She is an angel on that aspect of things, where it's just like been fully supportive. Thank you again for coming down and sitting in my garage and talking into the microphones.
Anytime. Come down here, sit on this. What is this? This got to be cashmere.
Yeah. Yeah, these things are brand new chairs, bud. So thanks for that, and anything I can do to help out with your business, or I'll tell everybody if you want me to.
Same here, brother. Same here, man.
And our grand finale garage dad question would be, who would you say is the person that you look to most for advice as far as a dad? Who would you say is your dad role model?
Oh man, well, my dad is the first thought. I've got like a big family. I've got a bunch of people in my life that have helped me. Become the dad. It's just so weird saying that still, that you're a dad. I don't know how often you refer to yourself as a dad, but it's still odd saying that, considering yourself a dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, I gotta go, mom and dad, I've said it before, and I've just been so lucky to have great parents that, basically made me who I am, and taught me to, whether or not they had in the back of their mind when they were raising a little redhead baby that they were molding a future dad at that time, who knows, but they did, and I'm thankful for it, because, I am who I am because of them.
Yeah.
And I gotta.
So would you say that old Jeff's had to give you any advice as far as being a dad, or anything you've had to call him where he just didn't have an answer about, or wisdom that he instilled in you?
I can't think of anything specific, but the fact of the matter is that he's just been a dad. He's been a good dad my entire life, and whether or not he was necessarily teaching me a lesson, to be a dad in the future, it's just that he has always been a good dad. The characteristics that he has as a person has been a good father, and he's blessed me with a lot of those same characteristics, and they just carried over. So that, subconsciously, without, me even being aware of it, he taught me stuff just by being an example of a good dad.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's all he had to do. And so it was easy for me. I like to think I'm a good dad.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's solid there, because and just kind of thinking, like, obviously what you were saying about your dad just being a role model without saying it.
Yeah.
You're just kind of living like you're raising your kids like he raised you.
Yeah, I mean, again, subconsciously, like you just said, doing the things he did, and my kids are, and I do also should mention that my father-in-law, which is, you probably know my father-in-law. I've known him from way back, and then Sabrina and her family my whole life. Again, I don't know that I've ever called him and asked for a specific piece of advice, but he's been a part of my life for a long time, so and I got nothing but good things to say about him too, so I'm sure there's, things that parenting skills or whatever that I've picked up on with not even being aware of it, and that I use, with my girls.
Yeah.
So, just having good growing up and with good father figures around me has just naturally made it easy for me to be a good father. You know?
Yeah, and I think, like I said, like with my dad, like he's not here to give me advice now, but there's so much stuff I catch myself doing that it was like, that's the same thing he did.
Yeah.
So it's I definitely get what you're saying from that aspect of things. So that's solid. And I was I didn't know if Jeff was giving the words out, or if he was one of those. I mean, I've read some of his articles there. If he had to ever type anything out, because or if he had any good wisdom to give you, but Jeff's awesome.
One of a kind, that's for sure.
Yes, he is.
He's the best way.
He's his own person, and yeah, like I said, in the best way. And I think he's done great.
Yeah.
You and Chaser, he did all right with you guys.
Yeah.
And of course, let's be honest, your mom is a saint. So definitely got to give her a shout out there, because she's
she deserves.
She is one of a kind as well. So they're one whole piece together.
That's right.
So
that's right.
Again, thanks for coming on.
It's all good, man. These are the things that we got to make time for.
Yeah.
This is absolutely not a chore by any means, man. I was more than happy to come down here and hang out, and it was well overdue.
Good deal.
And we need to do it again.
Thank you for everybody out there listening. I definitely appreciate any of the people letting me know that they've listened. Yeah.
I'm not tooting your horn. I hear people talking about it regularly.
Good. And I'm definitely thankful for all that. And just let everybody know we're out there right now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. So if you want to like and subscribe on any or all of those, and I've been trying to make some of the TikTok reels and Facebook reels and YouTube shorts to kind of do that. So if anybody follows along with those or wants to give any input, sure would appreciate that. That's all I got. So that's a wrap. Thanks for listening to Garage Dad Podcast.
Well, thanks again, man.
Peace.
Peace.